Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Mansing. Senators say the executive budget submitted by Governor John de Jongh last Friday is not balanced. During the first day of budget hearings Monday, the governor's financial team testified regarding the 2013 budget and its shortfalls that still need to be addressed. They also discussed the upcoming budget that senators say is incomplete. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
The executive and legislative branches differ on their ideas of a balanced budget. The fiscal year 2014's executive budget that was sent down June 14th from Government House totals a little more than $1 billion, with $743.8 million from the general fund. But there's a $28.6 million budget shortfall that the governor's financial team expects the Senate to fill.
That would suggest to me that your budget did not come down balanced, because you're telling us that for it to be balanced, we have to generate $14.3 million in revenue.
Senators are expected to generate the other $14.3 million through cost-saving initiatives.
We indicated that there needs to be some measures to close gaps. We have been meeting with members of this body for a couple months. Governor clearly articulated that many of the issues that we have to deal with in 2013 were going to impact the 2014 budget. He said that in the letter when he indicated that the budget was going to be late. We have been waiting for a while for the Senate to share some recommendations with us.
2 weeks ago, the governor submitted legislation that offered 9 options the Senate could take to help fill the deficit.
Reducing the cost of government health insurance premium by changing the cost share.
The others were an income tax surcharge, unpaid holidays or furlough days, a vehicle mileage tax, reducing the gross receipts tax exemption, eliminating the exemption of excise taxes on certain products, increasing real property and other taxes, reducing other fringe benefits offered to government employees, and extending the 8% salary cuts until October. For senators, delaying the 8% return is not an option. Erica Parsons, News 2.
The governor's bill was held in the Finance Committee for further consideration. Governor John de Jongh Jr. departed the territory on Tuesday afternoon for 2 days of meetings in New York with key advisors, including the territory's bond counsel, Hawkins, Delafield and Wood, financial advisor, fiscal strategies, and Washington, D.C. legal counsel Winston and Strawn. Earlier this week, Governor John de Jongh continued a series of stakeholder meetings to discuss recommendations of the Pension Reform Task Force. He said the implementation of pension reform will require holding employers, employees, and retirees accountable, placing a very real burden on each and reducing the system's liability by imposing changes in various statutory requirements. The meeting on Monday included members of the Board of Trustees of GERS. A reminder to those who will be commuting to St. John for the 2013 festival celebration, the Virgin Islands Port Authority is urging the public to adhere to traffic and parking restrictions during the 4th of July weekend. While using the Erman Fredericks Marine Terminal, Port Authority police officers are expected to be on hand and enforce all parking restrictions. All vehicles parked in no parking zones will be booted. Vehicles may also be towed from the facility if they are obstructing traffic or marine operations. Detectives on St. Thomas arrested Deshawn Samuel upon his release from the Schneider Regional Medical Center on June 18th. The 20-year-old was being treated for a gunshot wound to his left arm, which occurred when the vehicle he was traveling in was fired upon in Four Winds Plaza on June 6th. During that investigation into the case, detectives recovered a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson handgun that was in Samuel's possession during the shooting. He was arrested on June 19th at 2:40 p.m. and charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm. His bail was set at $25,000 and he was remanded to the Bureau of Corrections pending further court action. Detectives on St. Thomas are investigating the fatal shooting of a male victim after being notified of the crime about 1 a.m. this morning. When officers arrived on the scene, they found the victim face down on a road in Estate Frydenhoj. EMTs who attempted to assist the victim said they could not detect any vital signs.
The victim was wearing a multicolored polo shirt, black pants, and black sneakers. He is about 5 foot 8 inches tall, 175 to 180 pounds. He has a low haircut, brown eyes, and no facial hair. Police said the victim did not have any identification on him. Detectives are actively investigating this case and urge anyone who has any information on this case or any other pending case to tell officers what they know. You can call detectives at 715-5545, 715-5546. You can call 911 or Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS.
Meanwhile, Crime Stoppers remind you that you never have to give your name or appear in court. Crime Stoppers USVI will pay a cash reward of up to $2,500. And here's this week's report. On St. Croix on Thursday, June 13, at 9:30 p.m., police were dispatched to the Louis Hospital, to interview a 45-year-old man being treated for gunshot wounds. The man said he was in the studio next to his Estate Ruby home near Ramco Auto Body when he heard voices outside. When he opened the door to see who was outside, several shots were fired at him. The only description he was able to give was 3 men dressed in black shooting at him. Over on St. John on Monday, June 10th, at 10:20 p.m., the owner of Sputnik Bar in Coral Bay reported that as she left her business, a black man dressed in all black grabbed her from behind and took her black bag that contained over $2,500. He then ran towards the Guy Benjamin School. Police say on St. Thomas, Saturday, April 13th at 10 p.m., 2 men dressed in dark clothing and ski masks broke into Coral World at Cokie Point and stole their Triton RL 1000 ATM machine, which contained about $3,400. Tell Crime Stoppers what you know about these or any other crimes. Log on to www.crimestoppersusvi.org or call 1-800-222-TIPS. You can also text USVI plus your message to crimes 274-637. Remember, if your tip leads to an arrest or the recovery of stolen property, illegal drugs, or weapons, you will receive a cash reward of up to $2,500 paid according to your instructions. Police Commissioner Designee Rodney Carrad Sr. passed on information published in the State Criminal Justice Profile website, which states in the Virgin Islands the estimated number of violent crimes declined for the 5th consecutive year. This milestone, he says, could not have been achieved without the community's involvement and support. Carrad credited groups like Crime Stoppers, the Hotel and Tourism Association, the St. John Community Integration Team, the various chambers of commerce, Rotaries, the downtown action groups, and all other groups and individuals who consistently collaborate with the VIPD. The crime statistic report dated May 2013 states that violent crime has seen an average reduction of 24%, and property in crime has seen an average reduction of 1.34% between 2010 and 2011. He said, we as a community still have a lot of work to do, but together we can make a difference. We'll turn our attention stateside. President Obama unveiled plans to reduce in nuclear warhead stockpiles during a speech in Berlin today. His 26-hour visit to Germany capped 3 days of meetings with world leaders. Danielle Nottingham has the latest from Washington.
A huge crowd cheered for President Obama as he arrived with Germany's leaders at the Brandenburg Gate.
Hello, Berlin!
The president delivered his remarks where the Berlin Wall once stood, not far from where President John F. Kennedy made his famous Ich bin ein Berliner speech 50 years ago. But today marked the first time a U.S. president spoke from the east side of the gate, formerly communist territory.
We can say here in Berlin, here in Europe, our values won. Openness won, tolerance won, and freedom won.
The president used the speech to unveil plans to cut deployed nuclear warheads up to 1/3.
I intend to seek negotiated cuts with Russia to move beyond Cold War nuclear postures.
From Germany, the president sent a message back here to Capitol Hill. He wants Congress to pass a nuclear test ban treaty. Earlier, the president met with German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Among the issues discussed were Afghanistan and the controversial U.S. electronic surveillance programs that some critics say go too far.
This is not a situation where we simply go into the internet and start searching any way that we want.
Merkel said it is important to provide a balance between providing security and protecting personal freedoms. Danielle Nottingham, News 2.
Meanwhile, keeping our eye on the economy, Google is challenging a federal gag order concerning its participation in the federal surveillance program. Google was identified as one of the 9 U.S. internet companies that has given the NSA access to information on its customers. The internet giant wants to divulge how often it is asked to turn over customer data in the name of national security. This is the New York Stock Exchange with Scotiabank Stock Market Watch. Everything down. The Dow 206, NASDAQ 38, S&P 22. Coming up on News 2, Love Fashion. We'll share a link to a huge event, Fashion Link VI's first annual expose. That's coming up. We'll give you details. Plus, a familiar face to our News 2 viewers returns with all the latest highlights in sports. We'll be right back. Innovative cable TV customers experience technical difficulties due to signal inconsistencies from the feed for WSVI TV Channel 8 to Innovative's cable TV's head end. Customers were especially affected during Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The technical teams from both organizations are working to identify the issue. Innovative Cable TV apologizes for any inconvenience this caused its viewing audience. Meanwhile, on Thursday and Friday, Innovative will observe shorter business hours. On Thursday, June 20th, the business office at Tutu Park Mall and the wireless store at Niski Center on St. Thomas will close at 2:30 p.m. The business office located at Starfish Marketplace on St. John will also close at 1:30 p.m. On Friday, June 21st, Innovative Business Office at Estate Diamond and the Innovative Wireless Kiosk at Plaza Extra West will close at 3 p.m. The amended hours will allow employees to participate in company-wide meetings. Well, summer is in full swing and the summer camps are getting ready to kick off. News 2's Shaniqua Robinson have a few camps in mind to assist you with your search.
The Coral Reef Discovery Week is a free camp sponsored by the Community Foundation of the Virgin Islands. From July 22nd through 26th, students ages 15 through 19 will participate in a boat and snorkeling trip, a behind-the-scenes tour at Coral World, and more. The camp is held at the Marine Science Center at UVI. Space is limited to 12 high school-age USVI and BVI students, and participants must be able to demonstrate that they could comfortably swim and snorkel. The Virgin Islands Police Department is pleased to announce that applications are available for their sponsored summer programs including PAL, SAD, Weed and Seed, and more.
We recognize that there are youngsters who can just be running wild. So what we plan to do is teach them different skills and trade, sports and indoor games.
For more information on St. Thomas or St. John, call the Crime Prevention Office at 776-1525 and on St. Croix at 773-6393. The Friends of the Virgin Islands National Park has lined up a roster of camps at the Virgin Islands Environmental Resource Station on St. John to suit campers from ages 7 through 17. Space is limited to 25 students per camp. Parents are welcome to attend with their child if space is available, and camps are free for Virgin Islands residents. To sign up, visit www.islands.org/VAERS or call 776-7621. If you're interested in a camp that focuses on teaching your child the history and culture of St. Croix, then the Discover St. Croix Summer Camp would be a great option.
Discover St. Croix Camp is all about infusing as much of our culture and our history into our children. It's about giving them an opportunity to find out who they are, learn about themselves, about their place within their family and within our island community.
Shaniqua Robinson, News 2.
Be sure to check out those camps, and you can also check your local publications for more ideas. Well, the countdown has started towards Fashion Link VI's first annual expose in August, and tickets went on sale this week. The 3-day event puts the best of the best in the world of fashion against one another in different categories. The event lineup also includes great entertainment, plus much more, with the whole thing being covered by Pose magazine. Now, anyone interested in attending the expose can take advantage of the early bird and buy now, pay later ticket specials.
I've been in a couple shows up in Atlanta, especially, and it's just good to showcase the local talent, what we have here. you know, and believe you me, we have some awesome talents.
Miss Rivers, at first I didn't really want, but thanks to her, I decided to be in it.
You have a show to see. Don't miss it. August 16th is the VIP reception. The 17th is the main event. 2+2, the after party, and the grand finale where all the contestants will be announced. The winners will be announced at the grand finale. So come out and support this great event.
Okay, put that on your calendar. Well, how long can we expect this wet weather? Bernie continues to track the tropics. We'll have the latest coming up.